So today we are going to do 2.5, that is the ultrastructure of plant cell. Okay, so till now we have studied about plant cell and plant cell, and we discussed about the different cell organelles in our previous class. So now plant cell have all the cellular components you just have seen in the animal cell. However, there are some structures that are only seen in the plant cell, and they carry out photosynthesis. So photosynthesis means photo means light and synthesis means preparation, formation. So with the help of light, plants make their own food. That whole process of making their own food is known as photosynthesis. So the cell organelles which are responsible for the photosynthesis are available only in plant. They are not available in animal cell. So that is the main difference between the plant cell and the animal cell. And when these differences are there, a little bit of difference is also there in the structure of the cell. So first difference between the plant cell and the animal cell is cellulose cell wall. Now plant cell, unlike animal cell, have a rigid structure. Now plant cell has a little bit more rigid structure than that of the animal cell. They have a cell wall surrounding the cell surface membrane. So in animal cell, there is only a cell membrane, but in plant cell, there is one more, you can say, covering is there that is known as a cell wall. Now plant cell walls are made up of cellulose, a complex carbohydrate. They are freely permeable, so substance can pass into and out of the cell. These plant cells are also permeable. They are made up of cellulose and they are permeable so that the substances can move out from the cell and it can move into the cell. Okay.
Yeah.
The cell walls of a plant cell give its shape, strength, and structure. The cell wall not only protects the inner cell organelles, but also gives cell a shape. It also provides a rigidness to the cell. The content of the cell press against the cell wall, making it rigid. This supports both individual cell and the plant as a whole. So the cell wall is like a supporter or the structural supporter for the whole plant also. The cell wall also acts as a defense mechanism, protecting contents of the cell against the invading pathogens. All the cell wall have cellulose. All the plant cells have cellulose cell wall. So if there's a question, what are the different things that cell wall will help, or what are the uses of cell wall, or how the cell wall benefits plant? The cell wall not only in providing shape, it also helps the plant in defense mechanism in protecting them against the invading pathogen, or in providing a structural strength to the whole plant. So these lines you need to remember. Okay, is that clear?
Yeah.
Any doubt? Okay, now we are having plant cell organelles. Now plant cell, unlike animal cell, they have a rigid structure which are unique to plant cell including or you can the structures which are not there in animal cell, but they are only found in the plant cell are vacuoles. So whenever the word vacuole is there, it means it is a vacuum space. It is an empty space. So vacuoles are the membrane-lined sac. Sac means bag-like structure in the cytoplasm containing cell sap. Containing cell sap means it's a liquid present in the cell. Many plant cells have a large permanent vacuoles which are important in maintaining of turgor. Turgor means inside pressure. So vacuoles are I'm again repeating, vacuoles are the membrane-lined sac in the cytoplasm containing cell sap. Many plants have large permanent vacuoles which are very important in maintenance of turgor. They maintain some pressure inside the cell so that the content of the cell push against the cell wall and maintains a rigid framework of the cell. The main function of the vacuole is to maintain the turgor so that whatever the content of the cell are there, they maintain it over the periphery of the cell. They remain to be at the periphery of the cell and hence give cell a particular structure. The membrane of a
Yeah.
vacuole in a plant cell is known as tonoplast. Membrane of vacuole. This membrane of vacuole is known as tonoplast. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. It is selectively permeable. Selectively permeable means it will only allow certain sort of uh, things to pass through it, which means that only some kind of molecules can pass through it, but others cannot. If vacuoles appear in animal cells, they are small and transparent, not permanent ones. There are little bit of vacuoles are there also in animal cell, but they are very, very small and they are not even permanent. Clear? Any doubt in
Yeah.
vacuoles? Hmm?
No.
Okay.
No.
So vacuole's main function is to maintain turgor so that it will push the content of the cell against the wall and hence it can maintain the framework of the cell. Here, and it
Yeah.
is this vacuole is covered with a layer known as a tonoplast, and this tonoplast is selectively permeable. And vacuoles are also found in animals, but they are small and transparent. They are not the permanent one. Okay, so that was the first. That was second point that we have discussed. First point was cell wall. Okay, now third point we are going to discuss is chloroplast. This is also one of the main difference. Now chloroplast. Now, chloroplasts are the organelles responsible for the photosynthesis in the plant cell. Now, photosynthesis means that is formation of food with the help of light. So this photosynthesis is done in the chloroplast. So chloroplasts are the certain organelles which are only in plant cell, not in the animal cell. Now they are found in the cell in a green part of the plant such as leaves and stems, but not in the root. So chloroplast is only found in the green part of the plant. Okay.
Yeah.
They have a double membrane structure similar to mitochondria. As per the mitochondria, they are also having a double membrane structure. The fluid enclosed in the cytoplasm is known as stroma. There is some fluid which is enclosed in the chloroplast, and this fluid is known as stroma. They also have an internal network of membrane which forms flattened sac called as thylakoid. And in them there are an internal you can say a flattened sac means flattened bag-like structures are there which are known as thylakoid.
Yeah.
Okay, clear?
Yeah.
So thylakoids are the internal flattened sac-like structures which are found in the stroma. So stroma also contain internal network of membrane which forms a flattened sac-like structure known as thylakoid. Now, several thylakoids sagged together. If they are sagged together, they are called as granum. That is grana. So they are known as grana. The
Yeah.
grana are joined by the membrane called as lamella. So grana are all joined by the lamina. So grana contains the chlorophyll pigments where light-dependent reactions occur during photosynthesis. So photosynthesis is purely a light-dependent process. If there is no light, then there will be no photosynthesis. Now, starch produced by photosynthesis is present as starch grains like mitochondria. Chloroplasts also contain DNA and ribosomes. Now, chloroplasts are therefore able to make their own protein.
Yeah.
Is that clear? Anyone, any doubt in this whole?
No.
Okay. Now we will see the internal membrane provides large surface area needed for the enzymes, proteins, and pigment molecules necessary for the process of photosynthesis. So whatever there is a requirement of any enzyme, anything, any pigment, protein, and thing, all these will be provided inside the cell. Or internal membrane provides a large surface area for all these processes. Here,
Yeah.
okay. Now quickly do this question number 1, 2, and 3. So now we will continue with this prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. Okay. Now animals, plants, and fungi are all complex multicellular organisms. The cells making of them for making these organisms are known as eukaryotic cells. There is a lot of evidence that suggests that eukaryotic cells evolved from less complex prokaryotic cells. So prokaryotic cells means they are the previous one or the primitive one. So each and every eukaryotic cell has been, you can say, evolved from the prokaryotic one. These prokaryotic cells present in the great numbers live in an incredibly diverse range of habitat that they, because of their structures, because of their fundamental things, they are incredibly diverse in range of habitat. That is, from extreme low temperature to extreme high temperature, from less humidity to more humidity, from desert in seas. So they are available everywhere. These unicellular organisms can be classed into two evolutionary domains, that is archaea and bacteria, okay, which evolved from an ancient common ancestor. Okay, now we are going to discuss about the prokaryotic cells. So prokaryotic cells may have been among the earliest form of life on Earth. They first appeared around 3.5 billion years ago when the surface of the Earth hostile, was a very hostile environment. So they are around 3.5 billion years ago. The scientists believe that these early cells were adapted to live in salinity. Extreme salinity means that with more amount of salt present into it, with pH, high pH value, and temperature. Now, these organisms are also known as extremophiles, folies, and they still exist today. They can be found in hydrothermal vents and salt lakes. Hydrothermal vents that are water heated vents, similar environment of those believed to have made up the early Earth. So they are found, or they are the very primitive cells, and they are with the Earth when the Earth is being in the mode of formation, you can say. They are usually of the domain archaea, and are recently they have been found in more hospitable environments such as soil and human digestive system. So these type of bacteria are also found in the soil and the human digestive system. Now, prokaryotic organisms are always unicellular and have a relatively simple structure. Their DNA is not contained within the nucleus. They have a few cell organelles, and organelles they do not have are not membrane bound. So whatever the organelles they do have, they are not membrane bound. So their organelles are not membrane bound. Remember that.
Yeah.
DNA. The structure of DNA contained within the prokaryotic is fundamentally the same as in the eukaryotic cell, but it is tagged differently. The prokaryotic generally have one molecule of DNA, a chromosome, which is supercoiled to make it more compact. The genes on the chromosomes are often grouped into opeons, meaning the number of genes are switched on and off at the same time. So the genes on the chromosomes are often grouped into opeons, meaning the number of genes are switched on and off at the same time. So the gene number is not fixed; it can be switched on and off. Is that clear?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Now we will discuss about the ribosomes. So ribosomes in prokaryotic cells are similar to those in the eukaryotic cells. Their relative size is determined by the rate at which they settle to form a sediment in a solution. The larger eukaryotic ribosomes are designated ATS, and smaller prokaryotic ribosomes are known as 70S. So, in case of eukaryotic, ribosomes are designated as ATS, but in case of prokaryotic, they are 70S. So, they are both necessary for protein synthesis, although larger ATS ribosomes are involved in the formation of more complex proteins. So, both are having ribosomes, eukaryotic and eukaryotic cell, but eukaryotic cell are having 80S ribosomes, and prokaryotic are having 70S ribosomes. That is the main difference between them. Then cell wall. Prokaryotic cells have a cell wall made up of peptidoglycan, also known as murine. It is a complex polymer formed by the amino acids and sugar. So murine is a complex polymer made up of amino acids and sugar that covers the cell wall of prokaryotic cell. Okay. Now flagella. The flagella of prokaryotic is thinner, and equivalent structure of eukaryotic cells does not have 9+2 arrangement. But in case of flagella, it is there, but it is very thinner, and the same type of structures which is there in the eukaryotic cells, they do not have any 9+2 arrangement. The energy to rotate the filament that forms the flagellum is supplied from the process of chemoosmosis, not the ATP as in the eukaryotic cell. Now, in the case of eukaryotic cell, that whenever there is a movement of flagella, it is done by the chemoosmosis. But in case of prokaryotic cell, it is not done by the chemoosmosis. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The flagellum is attached to the cell membrane of a bacterium by a basal body and rotate the molecular motor. So you can clearly see this is the molecular motor, it can be rotated by that. Okay. The basal body attach the filament comprising the flagella of the cell surface membrane of the bacterium. A molecular motor causes the hook to rotate, giving the filament a whip-like movement, which propels the cell. Now, did you get it, or do I need to repeat it?
Yeah, I get it.
The basal body attaches the filament comprising of the flagellum of the cell wall, cell surface membrane of the bacterium. A molecular motor causes the hook to rotate, giving filament a whip-like movement, which propels the cell. Now, this whip-like movement, this whole thing gives a whip-like movement, and hence the cell will move. Clear?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Now, a comparison with eukaryotic cell. The first eukaryotic cell appeared about 1.5 billion years ago. As you have learnt, eukaryotic cells are much more complex than the prokaryotic cell. Okay. As you have learnt, eukaryotic cells are much more complex than the prokaryotic cell. Their DNA is present within a nucleus and exists as a multiple chromosomes. Eukaryotic cells are appeared about 1.5 billion years ago, but the prokaryotic cells are very, you can say, previously there. So as you have learned, eukaryotic cells are much more complex than the prokaryotic cell. In eukaryotic cell, the DNA present within the nucleus and exists as a multiple chromosomes, which are supercoiled, and each one wrapped around the number of proteins known as histones. So in case of eukaryotic cells, DNA is within the nucleus, exists as a multiple in the form of multiple chromosomes, which are supercoiled, and each of the each one wrapped around the number of the protein called histones, forming a complex or efficient
The
packing.
chromosomes wrap around histone.
Yes,
The chromosomes wrap
each
around
each one
histones.
wrap around a number of proteins called as histone. Yes, forming a complex or efficiency packing. Got it? Yes. And this complex is known as chromatin, and chromatin coils and condenses to form chromosomes. Okay. Histones wrap around chromosomes wrap around histones. Histones wrap around chromatin. This chromatin wraps around, and chromatin coils and condenses to form the chromosome. Now, eukaryotic genes are generally switched on and off individually. They can be switched on and off individually. Yes, clear?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. As you have learned, eukaryotic cells have a membrane-bound organelles, including the mitochondria and the chloroplast. The ultrastructure of we have already discussed this in the previous chapter. Now, organisms from the plant, animal, fungi, and the Protostata kingdom are all composed of eukaryotic cells. Many are the multicellular organisms. Many of them are the multicellular. Now we will discuss about the similarities between the prokaryotic and the eukaryotic cell. The similarities between the prokaryotic and the eukaryotic cells are: number one, features is nucleus. in prokaryotic cell not present. Sorry, this is the difference between them. Yes, am I audible or not?
Yeah, you are.
Okay, so the similarities and differences between the prokaryotic and the eukaryotic cells are following. So first of all, we will discuss the differences. So nucleus not present. In the case of eukaryotic cell, it is present. DNA in case of prokaryotic is circular and it is linear. DNA organization, protein fold and condensed DNA associated with proteins called histones. Extrachromosomal DNA, circular DNA called plasmids, only present in the certain organelles which such as chloroplast and the mitochondria. Cell organelles, no membrane bound cell organelles are there in prokaryotic. Both membrane bound and non-membrane bound cell organelles are present. Cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan. Cell wall is made up of chitin in fungi, cellulose in plant, not present in animals. So it is different. Ribosomes, in the case of prokaryotic, it is 70S. In the case of eukaryotic, it is 80S. Cytoskeleton present in the prokaryotic, eukaryotic, it is also present. Reproduction. In prokaryotic, it is done by binary fusion. In eukaryotic cell, it is done by the sexual and the asexual one. Cell wall, it is unicellular, and eukaryotic, it is unicellular and multicellular. Surface, cell surface membrane present, and in this case also present. So these are the differences between the prokaryotic and the eukaryotic cell. These are really very important. Got it clear?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is also finished. So as a homework, you need to do these three along with these questions. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that clear?
Yeah.
So that is enough for today.